Welcome to Miffs.
I'm Matt Huss.
And I'm Dan Rhodes. Whether you know about Theseus or you're revising your syllabus.
If you want tales with a bit of jest, or you just want to hear about incest.
What?
What? It's really interesting.
Welcome to Miffs. Welcome to Miffs.
Oh! Why would you do that?
So I just dribbled.
Oh, Matt.
What? You okay?
It's made me really upset that you did that to me.
I'm sorry, Dan. Do you want to talk about it?
Yeah, let's talk about it now. Ask me how that made me feel.
Dan, how did that make you
It
feel?
made me feel sad that you blew water into my face.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to hurt you.
Ask me if you're still my friend.
Am I still your friend?
No.
Can I do anything to help?
Yeah, you can do all of this episode on your own.
Well, don't I do that anyway? Alright, ready to rock? Good energy?
In fact, yeah, for your punishment is you can't be in this episode.
Oh, I don't mind that.
Fuck.
Go on then, do it without me then.
Can I ask an honest opinion?
Yep.
If I did a myth on my own, no special guests, just me doing it, and it got the most views that we've ever had, how would that make you feel?
Firstly, not views, it's a podcast.
Same thing as listeners.
Downloads.
Downloads, that's the word I'm looking for.
Still, 92 episodes in, you don't know. Alright, I think I
got a call from the BBC and they were like, you were great in that episode 92.
Okay, I think if that was the case, and not sensationalising here, I think I would genuinely consider taking my own life. You would as well.
But that's not funny.
No, it's not funny.
Suicide isn't funny, guys. Matt's always making jokes about it, but which is really bad considering what he does for a living.
I recently became a mental health.
You did. That's good of you,
first
isn't
aider
it?
as well. I mean, just to clarify, if you are having suicidal tendencies, go and speak to someone, reach out, and there's a lot of counselling stuff services, a lot of signposting as well. But do you know what that means, Dan? As a first aid mental health aider.
Is it like CPR but for mental health?
Yeah, what I do is when
you
people
defibrillate mental health.
When people have anxiety, I compress their head like, whoa, well, Nelly the elephant. Da, da, da.
What is for mental health first aid?
Basically, it's being like a mental health champion and like basically checking in on people. It's making sure that you're talking to someone. It's basically checking in
in the workplace.
Yeah, more so in the workplace. So if you're basically you're trying to set up people, allowing to talk to people, and noticing signs and symptoms as well.
Yeah. Okay.
But you're not a doctor, you're not a counsellor, but you're someone like a first port of call, perhaps maybe, like and someone who can kind of give some kind of instant kind of they can like help out and like just kind of point people in the right direction. That's what it is. Really.
What a worthwhile cause.
It's really good. And if you genuinely want to know more about that, you can contact me on my website www.matthousecomedy.com and we can talk. That applies for everyone. That's
nice. That was nice, wasn't it?
Yeah. Now, talking about mental frailty, should we talk about one of the weirdest things that's happened to me in the last couple of weeks?
Yes, let's do that.
Dan, big news, my dad is going to get remarried!
Hey!
Yeah, not to my mum, but that's fine, because they're bad.
Hey!
My dad's getting married to his partner, Jackie, who once said that you looked like Stephen McDonald.
She did once say that, yeah.
Yeah, so good times. And like, it's a weird marriage. So no, it's not a weird marriage, but I think it's like they are very chilled out about it. You know, so much so that they haven't picked a date yet, but just plan to do it in the new year sometime. Just like, yeah, we'll just do it. We'll just do it sometime in the next couple of weeks. It's like my brother like we need to know when because like I'm famously on tour, but like famously, but like you know what I mean. Like, I have a busy schedule, and like I don't want to. I can't not turn up to my dad's thing. But I also can't turn down work. You know what I mean? Because I mean, please book me. But like, but yeah. So my dad's getting married, which is kind of weird, and he's asked my brother and I to be best men. But I think he wants my brother to be best man more than me, though.
Your dad did tell me your brother was his favourite.
Wow.
But your mum's favourite.
No, I don't think she didn't say that. So I have her on podcast saying that Alex is her favourite. Anyway, so don't play that game with me, Dan Rhodes. I know where I stand. but in all fairness, I do talk about them on the podcast, so you know what I mean. Like, so it's gonna be kind of weird. Also, like you described my dad once as being the most northern man you've ever met.
Yeah, but I don't mean that many northern people.
Yeah, but still, like you met a person at the coach station who wanted a beef slice, so that's pretty normal.
Yeah,
you know. But like what I find kind of weird with this though, like is that they're kind of looking to do it like very as low key as possible, but
low key.
Yeah, nice. But there's a little stipulation there, because like they're looking to get, instead of like a wedding cake, they're looking just to get like corned beef slices.
Nice.
Like not as like just because they prefer that to cake. You know what I mean?
Wait, so do people just walk up and have like cold corned beef slices?
I think so.
That's so northern. Good lord.
Right? Because you seem underwhelmed by this, but that's a pretty big thing. Like just, oh, what do you fancy?
But not any cake at all.
What?
Just some like cold meats.
I don't know.
That's so weird.
They haven't organised it yet, and I feel like I want to organise it for them, because I mean, I don't care that much. I feel like they have to get. It's going to annoy me if not, because I like organisation, Dan.
Get married's a big deal.
When do you think you're going to get married?
I don't know. Maybe I never will. I do think I'm unlikely to take a wife.
Really?
Well, judging on my personality, yeah.
What we should do is get you on Tinder, but put the entirety of this podcast on there, and who can say no?
Yeah.
Oh wait, did I ever tell you? Wait, I'm not sure if I told you this, but one time in the summer, I did a gig, and I was comparing, just before the Fringe, I was just comparing a gig, and there's a guy in the front row, and he's like an 18-year-old lad, and he was on his phone, and he had Tinder open, so and he was single as well, so for the whole gig, I remodeled his whole Tinder profile as well to try, and at the end, I got him a date as well. Like, that's pretty cool, right? So I think I should do that for you now. So, right, give me your phone. We'll get Tinder on. We'll try and get you some a wife by the end of the episode.
Try and get me a wife by the end of the episode.
I can do that. Yeah, come on.
That'd be quite impressive if I got married by the end of the episode.
Not married, but I certainly get you a potential date, right? I can do it right now.
I want at minimum a girlfriend by the end of the episode.
Okay, deal. Why? What happens if I fail?
I'll probably.
Am I also single for eternity as well?
Yeah, I curse you. No, I just behead you like I do all my friends if they just own me.
See, this is the kind of thing you can't say to ladies, I feel. Like, you can't behead them.
Can't behead them.
Because, you know,
it's heavy vibes.
Is PC gone mad? It's bloody the PC brigade, not allow us to behead women like we all want to do. Bloody 2019.
I remember in Tudor times.
I remember 5 years ago you beheaded any lady you like, yeah. But now, yeah.
So you're excited for your dad's wedding? That's going to be exciting.
There's a lot of trepidation there, I feel, because I feel that...
I assume your brother will do the speech, seeing as he's the best person at speaking in front of crowds.
Listener, I'm twitching currently. This is... Can you explain them my face right now?
That's because I'm having an aneurysm.
Oh, yeah. In all fairness, you know what? I've been made best man twice in the past, now 3 times, and I think for 66%, well, I think for all of them, it's because I'm quite good at public speaking, but not because how well they like me.
That's what most best men are, then it's good.
What's that?
I think that's better than being a best man but not being good at public speaking.
Well, but it means that I remember doing it for my cousin, who I do love, but also like I didn't know him that super well. So when I was trying to do the best man speech, I was just like, so Peter, that's his real name. Jeremiah, don't know anything about him, but I just talked about my feelings at life. I made it all about me. So.
Nice.
Cool. Also, I'm not sure if I told you, but at that wedding, I was like, oh, is there any single people here? Tried to do some crowd work as well. And no one cheered. It's like, what, am I the only single guy at this wedding? And my cousin was like, no, wait, no. There is a single person. She's single, and pointed at my other cousin. That's
funny. That's funny. I loved that.
That's nice. I'm a comedian, and you.
So your cousin tried to set you up with your cousin.
Well, his sister, yeah.
It's his sister.
And obviously, I did it.
Obviously, you smashed your cousin. Yeah. Although you have kissed your cousin before.
Well, actually,
second cousin.
It's like a distant cousin,
like really, like third cousin, twice removed.
I think it's second cousin, but I'm not sure. Vaguely related.
But then you found out afterwards.
Yeah, I found out afterwards. Also, did I... What? No, that was a joke. In reality, I think I knew, but I just thought, nah, I'm 16. But also... Is this too honest, this podcast? But also, that lady, that incest lady, she's getting married now.
Oh, good for her.
Yeah, to my brother.
They're gonna have thuds.
But yeah, so that's... What I feel I'm too honest about my life, and I talk about my weird stuff too much. How about you talk about your...
I used to have weird things like that happen, though.
You've never made out with your cousin?
I've never made out with my cousin before.
Alright, we said we weren't going to mention this, but your family do have weird tendencies. For example, we got a text from your mother the other day. We got a text at the end of episode 85.
We did, which was a while ago now.
In the mid-season break, we got a text from your mum to do with episode 85 as well, didn't we?
Which is the last episode of the Greek mythology stuff.
Yeah, because I talked about my Edinburgh Fringe moment when my mum told me a story in front of my brother's girlfriend, where she talked about doing a poo outside.
And you asked on the podcast if I thought my mum had ever...
Because I get embarrassed because my family
woods.
are weird and your family haven't done anything, and I wanted to open up a bit, and I indirectly asked Chris whether she had done any defecations outside. But your mum texts back.
She texts back. Listening to episode 85, FYI, I have never ever pooped other than in a toilet. Although confess, have tiddled in the woods.
Tiddled in the woods. Well... That's something.
Yeah.
Thanks for being honest, Chris. I appreciate that. Anyway, I like our podcast, Dan.
Shame some of us do. Well, I was nice that some of us do.
You enjoy it, right?
That's okay. Well, I did say recently that my life wouldn't be any better or worse if I didn't do this podcast.
I think that's as depressed as you go as well, doesn't it?
But also you agree with me.
I didn't agree with you. I just blinked at you quite a lot. But no, I loved doing this podcast and I loved learning about Norse myths. And that's why today we're going to learn some more. Here we go. Norse myths. Norse myths. Norse myths. Norse myths.
Yo, welcome back to part 2 of episode
92.
Get it? Part 2 of
What?
92 rhymes with 2.
No, it is.
Part 2, 92. It's the same word, so it rhymes. Is it rhyming if it's the same
no,
word?
It's not.
That's not how rhymes work, obviously.
So part 2 of episode 2, 92. It rhymes. And today we're looking at Mjolnir. But we're going to be looking at one person in particular.
We are.
And it wouldn't be who you think it is, actually.
No.
You would think Mjolnir goes hand in hand with Thor.
Because
But...
Thor... Mjolnir is Thor's hammer, by the way.
Yeah, I didn't...
You mentioned that like people would just know that.
Oh, I'm a nerd, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you... Oh, it's weird that it's Loki, because you think it would be... Who do you think it would be, that? Who the fuck is Mjolnir?
Well, we mentioned it in the last episode.
Did we?
Yeah.
Did we?
Yes.
Do people remember shit like that?
I don't know. Get in touch with us at misspodcast@gmail.com to tell us who's right and wrong. I like it. There's a bit of feistiness today, Dan. No. It's just because you 1-inch punched me last week.
Mjolnir is Thor's hammer.
Mjolnir.
But this myth is also focusing on Loki. Because actually, Loki is the main character in the myth of how Thor gets the hammer.
So that's... so we're going to talk about his backstory a little bit, aren't we?
Because we've already talked about Thor's backstory.
Yeah.
So let's talk a bit about Loki's backstory, and then let's smash out a myth.
Alright. So, Loki...
his father is the giant... I want to do this bit. You can do the... Because you want to do the bit about the hammer, don't you? I know you're raring to go for all this shit up here, aren't you? I can tell you're ready to go. Look at all this. You're ready... You just want to bang this hammer
I
so
do,
hard.
actually.
Yeah, you do, don't you?
I don't know how you know that.
And I know if you do this, then I'm going to end up doing the hammer bit, and you're going to get jealous.
Alright, go ahead.
Loki is the father...
Actually, I want to do this. Go ahead, go.
Loki... What is punching? Loki is... Loki, his father is the giant...
Loki. His name's Loki, right?
His name's Loki, yeah.
Loki.
His father is the giant Fabauti. And his mother is Laufey. There you go, easy peasy.
Or could be known as Nal.
Nal. What should we go for, Laufey or Nal?
I like Laufey.
I like Laufey. Laufey, aka Nal, could be a goddess, a giantess, or something else entirely. The surviving sources are silent on this point, so no one actually knows.
Yep.
Like the Vikings didn't write down who Loki's mum was.
Yeah.
We don't know. Should we? What do you reckon she is? Goddess, giant? Well, his dad's a giant, so maybe she could be a goddess, and he could be half giant, half god, like
What's she goddess
like
of?
Odin. She's the goddess of mischief.
No, I think goddess.
The goddess of
Oh, maybe goddess of forgetfulness.
the goddess of forgetfulness. Yeah. Yeah, we don't know, but we'll say she's something. And then Loki himself is the father by the giantess Angraboda.
Angraboda.
Of hell, the goddess of the underworld. So,
So hold on.
we're now going to list Loki's children, basically.
But yeah, so Loki is the father. From his giantess partner. Angraboda.
He has a
Had it off with Angraboda.
He had it off with a giant called Angraboda, and they had kids. Their famous children are Hel, who is the goddess of the underworld.
Goddess of the underworld.
Jormungand.
Jormungand.
He is the giant serpent who
We talked about.
encircles Midgard, the land of the humans. He is also, and that serpent is Thor's rival. This is Thor's rival. He's the father of Fenrir, the wolf,
Fenrir.
who the wolf is the one that's chained up in the underworld and snaps off in Ragnarok and eats everyone.
So basically,
Yeah,
he has very much spawned a lot of Ragnarok with his dick.
a lot of most of Ragnarok is Loki related. Yeah, hardly a reputable brood, to say the least. As we'll see below, Loki demonstrates a complete lack of concern for the well-being of his fellow gods, a trait which could be discerned in vague outline merely by considering these offspring of his.
So that's not his fault. Well, maybe he's a bad parent, but like you can't blame his.
So basically, Loki, in all of these Norse mythology, he's a bit of a trickster.
Yeah, and
I think he gets on with the gods, though. That's the thing. I
Yeah.
think he's like the bad boy of the god world.
I think
he has moments of being very nice, but moments of also being a bit of a dick. And
Neil-
clearly, his children are absolute hellspawn.
yeah, and Neil Gaiman described Loki as complicated. I think that's a good way to put it because he is neither evil nor good, but he loves mischief.
We'll describe this at the end when we do WTF Factor, I'm sure. But do you not think it's a bit weird that he banged a giant, and two of his children are a wolf and a serpent?
Yeah, I think I don't want to put any.
I think she's been cheating.
Yeah, I just think
She's been cheating.
she's been Angrabooding around.
Angrabooding around.
Take the Angrabuda.
So what's Mjolnir then? Now we've done the
we
local
all know
bit.
it,
We all know it.
obviously. Yeah, I don't know why we're doing this myth.
It's Thor's chisel.
Chisel. Anyway, Mjolnir, pronounced Mjolnir.
Mjolnir, pronounced Mjolnir.
Because that was in the text, listener, and I read it out loud. It's like an auto-cue moment. Anyway, Mjolnir, which is pronounced as Mjolnir. Mjolnir is the name of Thor's hammer, not chisel, in Nordic mythology. The hammer gave Thor his extensive power and was said to be forged by a dwarf. Due to the weapon's short handle, Thor could only wield it with one hand and had to wear magical iron gloves in order to grip the shaft. We've all been there.
Yeah, we've all been there.
Special gloves to grip the
The
shaft.
shaft,
Ugh,
yeah.
yeah. Ugh.
Always wear personal protective equipment when using machinery.
Like goggles. The Thunder God used his hammer to protect heaven and earth from enemies such as giants and their destructive force. According to some sources, the name Mjolnir may mean lightning in Old Norse, as we talked about last week as well. So when they heard the sounds of thunder, Thor was fighting people.
Yeah.
That's all we need to know there.
So you hear thunder and lightning in the sky. The Vikings were like, there's Thor again, protecting the Midgard from the Jotunheim.
So actually, what that means is that it turns thunder and lightning from a scary thing to a positive thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like hearing a car alarm go off during a podcast. So, here's how Mjolnir was created. One day, Loki the trickster found himself in an especially mischievous mood and cut off gorgeous hair of Sif, the wife of Thor. When Thor learned of this, his quick temper was enraged, and he seized Loki and threatened to break every bone in his body. A bit of a creepy move there, isn't it?
It's cutting the hair of your friend's wife.
He's definitely it's kind of like with Mimir taking the eyeball of Odin. Like, what's he doing with it? You know what I mean?
We haven't mentioned this earlier, we probably should have, but because of the whole Marvel thing with Thor and Loki being brothers, I think it's important for us to note that, as evidenced earlier, they're not brothers.
They are not.
They're not brothers.
Wait.
Just important to know that.
Just friends.
We did hear that. We kind of mentioned that last week, but they're just friends.
Loki pleaded with the Thunder God to let him go to Svartalfheim, the cavernous home of the dwarves, to see if those master craftspeople could fashion a new head of hair for Sif. This one even more beautiful than the original, and Thor allowed this, and Loki went to Svartalfheim. So
does hair not grow back then?
I assume not. Just
That's a bit
wait
weird.
a couple of days, mate.
Excuse me, Loki, what are you doing, mate? You've cut my wife's hair off. She's really upset. Go and to Svartalfheim, see the dwarves, and get them to make her a new head of hair. And then he'll be like, "Why don't you just wait a couple of months and then her hair will grow back?" That's not the point.
I also like the toxic masculinity is like, right, if we can't, what are we going to do with hair? Oh, we can't cut it. We're going to build it then. You know what I mean? Let's go to the dwarf planet and build hair. And also, Svartalfheim also has a different name, which is Nidavellir. You just said Nidavellir.
Nidavellir. Svartalfheim sounds well better.
Svartalfheim. So Loki was down there, and there he was able to obtain what he desired. The sons of the dwarf Ivaldi forged not only a new head of hair for Sif, but also 2 other marvels. Skidbladnir, the best of all ships, which always has a favourable wind and can be folded up and put in one's pocket, and Gungnir, the deadliest of all spears. So, we talked about Skidbladnir and Gungnir before. Gungnir is owned by Odin, right?
Yeah, Gungnir is the spear that Odin has. It's also the one he stabs himself with when he hangs himself from Yggdrasil.
Oh, so he hasn't used it yet? This is early days.
This is early days. This is early back in the early days. And then Skidbladnir, is that not Frey's brother? Frey, is that
right? Yeah,
I
think
his?
Maybe
That's not his, is it?
I think so. So he has a portable little ship pocket.
Yeah, I think that's Frey. We'll find out in a minute. I think that he might be the one that gets it.
So, having accomplished this task, Loki was overcome by an urge to remain in the caves of the dwarves and revel in more recklessness. Well, so far he's only cut off people's hair, and he's just done errands for people.
Yeah. Can I also say that the dwarf that building all this is called Ivaldi, and I think he's Italian.
Yeah,
Ivaldi.
Hello.
Hey, you want a new piece of hair? That's all. I also build you a ship and a spear, huh?
We definitely play with offence, don't we?
Yeah, definitely.
Ivaldi. I think he's Swedish, actually. You want some meatballs? Ivaldi.
But you're still doing an Italian accent.
Yeah, I know. Swedish meatballs. Ivaldi.
Still Italian, isn't it? Just accept he's Italian.
I'm so bad at everything, Dan. Can you give me a cuddle?
No.
He approached the brothers, Brokir and Sindri, and they taunted him, saying that he was...
Are you sure they taunted him?
This is because I didn't get my cuddle. He approached the brothers, Brokir and Sindri, and taunted them, saying that he was sure the brothers could never forge 3 new creations equal to those the sons of Ivaldi had fashioned. In fact, he even bet his head on their lack of ability. Brokir and Sindri, however, accepted the wager. Ooh. He likes to cause a stir, doesn't he?
He's like, hey guys, it's me, Loki, how you been? Long time no see. Just the guys at the other shop next door, the rival company, they just made 3 great products. They made some hair for Thor's wife. They made a ship that's it's incredible, and it folds up, and a spear as well. I mean, I wonder if only you guys could make that, huh? And they'll be like, bet you couldn't.
I bet I could die before you.
Yeah, I bet you couldn't. I'll chop my head off if you do that. If you don't.
What a weird
thing to bet. As they worked, a fly, who of course was none other than Loki in disguise.
So wait, hold on. So it's like, okay, gonna go now.
Stung Sindri's hand. When the dwarf pulled his creation out of the fire, it was a living boar with golden hair. This was Gullinbursti,
Nice.
who gave off light in the dark and could run better than any horse, even through water or air. So he's just made a giant boar. That's pretty cool. Sindri then set another piece of gold on the fire as Brock worked the bellows. The fly bit Brock on the neck, and Sindri drew out a magnificent ring, Draupnir. From this ring, every 9th night, full 8 new rings of equal weight.
Whoa! So like that's like old money kind of shit, isn't it?
So it just keeps sprouting rings.
But imagine like I think after a while that'd be quite annoying though, right?
So they've made a golden boar that's the fastest animal ever, and they've made a ring that makes more rings.
I mean, like, imagine if the person who owns Draupnir had been like, oh god, Christmas is going to be so shit. Yeah, we've all got golden rings, yeah, I would appreciate it, but like, for the 5th year in a row, mate, come on, like, you know what I mean? And your house is going to be full of them as well. Imagine just like, you're at home and just like, oh shit, I don't want to go outside. You open your door and you get like millions of rings in the front room.
Yeah.
It's like, you got nowhere to put them.
No, it'd be like that thing in Harry Potter when they keep multiplying the Gringotts.
Babies.
Oh. Sindri then put iron on the hearth and told Brokkr that, for his next working, they must be especially meticulous, for a mistake would be more costly than the previous 2 projects. Loki immediately stung Brokkr's eyelid, and the blood blocked the dwarf's eye, preventing him from properly seeing his work.
Sorry.
Sindri produced a hammer of unsurpassed quality which never missed its mark, and would boomerang back to its owner after being thrown. But it had one flaw. The handle was short. Sindri lamented that this had almost ruined the piece, which was called Mjolnir.
Which we all know what it is.
Yeah. Nevertheless, short of the great worth of their 3 treasures, Sindri and Brokkr made their way to Asgard to claim the wages that they were due to them. Loki made it to the halls of the gods before the dwarfs presented the marvels he had acquired. To Thor he gave Sif's new hair and the hammer Mjolnir. To Odin went the ring Draupnir and the spear Gungnir. And Freyr was the happy recipient of the boat Sklidbanir and Gullinbursti, the giant boar.
Pretty nice.
Some cool gifts there.
Yeah. Also, what fly have you ever mentioned that stings people? Yeah,
Horseflies? They bite, don't they?
Do they?
Yeah.
Oh. Now I know. I forgot that you know all animal knowledge as well.
As grateful as the gods were to receive these gifts, especially mine.
Do you want me to do it?
Well, obviously not. I've only done 1 paragraph. That is so Matt Hoss.
No, you did more than that. Okay, go on then. Fine, whatever.
As grateful as the gods were to receive these gifts, especially Mjolnir, which they foresaw would be of inestimable...
This is why I want to read it.
As grateful as the gods were to receive these gifts, especially Mjolnir, which they foresaw would be of inestimable help in their battles against the giants, they nevertheless concluded that Loki still owed the dwarfs his head. When the dwarfs approached Loki with knives, the cunning god pointed out that he had promised them his head, but not his neck. Brokkr and Sindri contented themselves with sewing Loki's mouth shut and returning to their forge.
What? And that ends?
That's the end of how Mjolnir got to Thor.
So, wait, so he's promised his head, not his neck, so why didn't he just cut off his head?
I think in order to chop off someone's head, you have to
chop
off their neck.
If they had knives, you can cut around it.
Yeah,
right?
I don't really know what they've done there.
Well, why didn't you just cut off from the top of his head?
I think he's trying to be a smart ass and they're just not in the mood, so they're like, don't worry about it, fuck
and
you.
they just sewed his mouth shut.
Yeah.
I mean, that just seems awful.
Yeah.
What I noticed with these Norse myths is that they end very abruptly on a very weird point.
They do, yeah.
And they just sewed his mouth shut. Imagine saying it to a young kid you're reading Norse bedtime stories, and then they sewed his mouth shut. Good night, Timothy. Like, what?
Yeah. Why would they do that?
Yeah.
Is it because he's such a mischievous, annoying... They're just like, you know what, I'm sick of this. I'm going to start sew your mouth shut. There you go. Fuck you.
The key point there is that Loki is instrumental in kind of the basis of everyone's power, I guess. You know what I mean?
Because if he hadn't have been annoying and bet those dwarfs they couldn't make great objects, then they wouldn't have made the objects.
Yeah. Well, that's pretty cool. Also, did the dwarfs get paid for their work?
Maybe they got a little something. I hope they did.
That's pretty cool. But also, I would
because everyone got 2 gifts instead of 1.
Yeah, that's quite nice. Anyway, let's go and rank this myth. Welcome back. Welcome back. It's Evaldi doing a Swedish accent. Dan, did you like that myth?
I did like that myth, yes.
What would you do if you had the power of Mjolnir in your hand?
You could do a lot, couldn't you?
Or what would you do? What would be the first thing you do? Short handle, but you're gonna...
I would.
Would you do DIY with it? Like,
Maybe to do that.
because I think it would knock through the wall by accident.
I would own a demolition company and I would just break stuff.
Yeah, but you have to do a lot of hard work yourself, right?
You just throw the hammer at it and it just goes... and then the hammer always comes back to you.
Yeah. That's pretty cool. Like, how do they make that, though? Do they do a lot of runes and stuff like that? Don't know.
Don't know. They forged it because they're clever.
Yeah, alright. But also, I think Sindri did a lot of the work there. Broke had just got stung in the eyes quite a lot.
Yeah, he did.
He should probably go to hospital. But also, what was the point?
Of being a fly, I don't know. Just to be annoying. I think he had said... I thought the idea was that he had said, I bet you can't make anything as equally good as that. And then his idea was to be a fly and be so annoying that they would mess up and not make something as good. But it failed because they were actually really skilled with dwarves and they actually made some really cool stuff.
Yeah, but he still presented the gifts afterwards, so I don't know what his end game was.
Oh, because he's still giving like he hasn't kept those gifts for himself.
Yeah, I know.
He's still giving them to people.
So is he just a bit of a dick?
Yeah. Because he hasn't done it and then taken he could have taken the hammer for himself. And he hasn't. He's gone like, oh, you guys can have it. I just wanted to be a dick.
That's Loki to it too.
So he's like good and bad.
Also, we haven't done a voice for Loki. What voice do you reckon you would have? If you imagine the biggest dick you can, and then what voice would they have? I think a slightly King Midas-y voice, isn't like alright, mate, yeah. I'm Loki, mate.
I see him as like a chavvy, like...
Oh, yeah, mate.
Oi, brother, I bet you can't make this as good as those other guys can.
Yeah. Remember when you...
They're like, I definitely can. And he's like, yeah, well, I'm just going to pop outside.
Yeah.
Here comes a fly, starts biting them.
Yeah, I bet you will, have, mate. That's me trying to be a youth. But Dan, remember when you played a chav in a production we once did?
I did, yeah.
You played Laser.
I did.
Can you do an impression?
Well, I think I just did.
Yeah. Okay, fair enough. Anyway, so we ranked some 4 categories, which are life skills, morals, creativity, and WTF, and mark them out of 10 for a total of 40. So, Dan, life skills, take it away.
What have we learned? We've learned a lot of life skills here. Come on.
We've
We've learned how to build a ship that folds into a pocket. We learned how to build a giant boar that runs faster. We learned how to build a spear that's the most powerful. We've learned how to build the most powerful hammer in the whole world. We've learned how to build a ring that multiplies into other... There's a lot of programming here. I wonder if it's like basically program the ring. We've learned how to...
That's what I mean, yeah.
We've learned how to turn a fly into a... We've learned how to turn into a fly.
We learned to annoy people.
We've learned how to annoy people.
We also learned how to give birth to...
to a serpent and a wolf.
Yep.
And how to...
cheat around.
Cheat around, yeah. We learn how to cut hair. We learn how to make hair. We learn how to stitch someone's mouth shut.
Yep. These, you know what? There's a lot of strength here.
Heavy.
I'm going to say 9.
Yeah, I think 9.
Is it not 10?
Why is it not a 10?
Yeah. Let's put 10.
I think this is kind of a Daedalus and Icarus kind of thing. Like, it's just a lot of life skill. Like, it's just a lot of building stuff.
Physically prosperous.
Yeah. Morals?
Don't cheat around.
Don't cheat around.
Don't fuck around.
Don't be a dick.
Yeah.
If someone's working with metal, it's dangerous. Don't be buying them.
Yeah, don't do that. I suppose. Don't kiss your cousin. Oh wait, that's me. Don't.
Don't.
I guess the main ones, don't be a dick, and I guess it's always good to give, and it's important to give out, and it's important to have friendship and to know when you've lost as well, with the tying us on.
Yeah.
But that's stretching.
That is stretching a moral.
3 or 4?
It's a 3, isn't it? Let's be honest. It's a 3.
Creativity.
Pretty creative. The things they built were very creative. We didn't really learn about how they built them, but the actual stuff they built were creative. Like the hammer and how it works, the ship that can fold up in a pocket, the giant boar that's pretty cool.
And we see a bit more of that relationship between Thor and Loki as well.
Yeah. Loki, also we've learned about his family, that's pretty creative. About he's the wolf and the hell goddess, and...
Yeah.
We are still questioning how him banging a giant makes a giant serpent and a wolf, but it is what it is.
We also learned his mum's origins. Well, actually we didn't, but...
We didn't. But we know we know her name.
Yeah.
And we know his dad's a giant.
I don't think it's massive. Maybe a 5 or 6. It's bang on the middle.
Probably a 5. I think it's a bang average.
And finally, WTF. I want to open with cutting off your mate's wife's hair. That's mental. It's his hair.
That's pretty messed up.
That's creepy, right?
Becoming being a fly, being a dick. He's just a dick.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's like a horrible person. I think he's just mischievous, isn't he?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and let me lay down this law right here. I don't think WTF can be misconstrued from mischievousness. I think, well, we can put some things in place, but he's not getting major marks for it. You know, like I think that being a fly and being a bit of a dick, that's not as bad as like, blowing up someone's head with a hammer. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's done it. The most WTF thing is the giant makes a wolf and a serpent.
I actually think cutting the hair is pretty creepy.
Creepy.
Sorry, the mouth. Sorry,
the mouth.
That's
pretty creepy.
WTF thing.
Cutting the hair is pretty creepy. The fact that she can't just let her hair grow back, they have to go and...
Yeah, and she has metal hair now.
This all started because, she needed...
What, did she have metal hair?
I think they just, they obviously, they made the strands of hair, didn't they? They can, forge anything.
Yeah, and I think...
They're magical dwarves.
I guess it's like hair extensions, you know what I mean? I'm not overly... There's no death, there's just a creation of it. It's quite a tame story in regards to WTF. So I'm going to say maybe... But I think the tying of maybe a 4 or 5.
I think it's a 4. I was going to go 4.
Maybe 5? It's down the middle. No, is it now?
No, I don't think it is.
4.
I think it's a 4.
So,
is that right?
10 plus 3 plus 5 plus 4 equals... 22.
22, nice.
Quite low, but we got a high score though.
Yeah, that's okay.
Got a 10. But yeah, thank you so much for listening. Dan, if you're going to create a tool... Well, actually, out of the 6 gifts, which one would you prefer? So, you have the boat...
Thor's hammer and the ship.
Yeah.
Or the boar. Probably the boar. Probably the boar. Thor's hammer and the boar.
Or the rings. You can get very rich very fast.
Oh, that's true, actually. Thor's hammer... But the boar could get you anywhere super quickly because it's super fast.
But you have to hold the ball, right?
Well, that's true. You have to house it.
Yeah.
Maybe the rings then, so you keep getting wealthy.
Brilliant stuff. Yeah. So we should probably wrap things up now. But before we do that, Dan, is there anything you want to plug? Anything you want to say?
No, just that if you have any questions or any myths that you want to let us know about, email us. mythspodcast@gmail.com.
Every time you say it, it sounds like you couldn't give less of a shit.
Also, go on Facebook at Myth Podcast, or we're also on Twitter.
Also, join the Misfits fan club.
Also, do that.
You can talk to me and Dan there if you don't want to email us. But also, we also are on iTunes and Spotify, and if you want to leave us a review, that'd be great. 5 stars only, please. And please share with friends. Just share it out with other people. That'd be great. And beyond that, donate to our Patreon. All the links below. If you want to donate monthly, that'd be really helpful. Allows us to pay back for some of the recording sessions, and yeah, it just helps us just do it for free as well. And beyond that, also I'm on tour as well. So I'm already headway into my tour so far. Thank you for everyone who's turned up so far. I am going to be from henceforth on the 15th of February in Durham, on the 22nd in London at New Wimbledon Theatre. That should be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Dan's will be there as well. We'll make it a Miss Fiend special. And 23rd in Brighton at the Carolina Brunswick. 5th of March in Newcastle at Bobix. 12th of Leicester at the Shed. 13th of March in Liverpool at the Hot Water Comedy Club, which will be fucking wonderful. All of them wonderful. The 14th is in Whitstable. I'm doing a potato tomato, and you get a vegan buffet there as well. Come
nice.
On. 15th in Cambridge at Thursday, and finally 20th of March in Richmond, doing my hometown special. So that should be a really, really wonderful one at Richmond Show Cricket Club. You're going to come along to all of them, aren't you, Dan?
Yeah, I am.
Yeah.
Maybe a roadie.
Yeah, or a groupie.
Whatever it's called.
Well, you know.
I'm not going to do it either way, so we'll just...
Would you rather be a roadie or a groupie?
What's the difference?
A roadie is the person who does all the set management, and you set things up, like all the guitar stuff. Groupies have sex with the band.
Groupie.
Okay. But yeah, thank you so much. It makes a difference from kissing my cousin, I guess. But yeah, thank you so much for listening. I've been Matt Hoss.
I've been Dan Rhodes.
And we've been... Myffs! Never planned that.
Never planned that, nice.
Yeah. One inch punch.
Myths. 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 Myths.
Dum 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 dum. Should we make some rock music? We'll just improvise some rock music.
My heart is going out for you. But I know I can't kiss you.
Waiting for Wikipedia. Too low.
I can't kiss you cause you are my cousin.
I talked Loki into a... Nice.